I got the perfect Han Solo quote to sum up this movie. I had a bad feeling about this. Solo, a Star Wars story directed by Ron Howard, starring Alden Ehrenreich from Hail Caesar as Han Solo. This is an origin story about the greatest smuggler from the Star Wars franchise, Han Solo, who was originally played by Harrison Ford, as we all know. And now in this movie he's played by Alden Ehrenreich, a young Han Solo, so we get to learn about his origins. We get to learn how he became a pilot. We get to learn how he met Chewbacca, how he wins the Millennium Falcon. We get to learn about the Kessel Run, and whether it's true that he was able to actually do it in 14 parsecs, 12. We meet Han Solo's mentor in the movie, Tobias Beckett, played by Woody Harrelson. We have a love interest in this movie for Han Solo named Qi'ra, played by Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones. And our villain is played by Paul Bettany, the guy that plays the Vision in the Avenger movies. Now, I wanted to see this because, of course, I love Han Solo, and I wanted to see how good this movie was going to be, even though I had a feeling that this movie was not going to be that good. And it's not because I didn't think that Alden Ehrenreich couldn't play Han Solo. I like Alden Ehrenreich. I think he's a terrific actor. I thought he was one of the best parts of Hail Caesar. And even though I know a lot of people want the lead guy from Baby Driver, Ansel Elgort, to play Han Solo, when I heard that Alden was chosen to play the role, I thought, oh cool, he's a good actor. I thought he might be able to do the job. And Alden does a great job in the movie. He really gets a lot of the mannerisms of Han Solo and does the best he can with the script he's given. The guy that got to play Chewbacca was really good, and I did like the bromance that these two have in the movie. Emilia Clarke is a great love interest for Han Solo. Qi'ra, they had really good chemistry in the movie. Woody Harrelson, I thought, was a great mentor for Han Solo. And Donald Glover, he is one of the best parts of this movie, playing Lando Calrissian. When you think of young Lando and you're looking at Donald Glover, yeah, he looks like a young Lando, and he gets all the mannerisms to feel like Billy Dee Williams. He is awesome in this movie. The card playing scenes that Han Solo and Lando have together are some of the best parts of the movie, when they're playing this poker-like game called Sabacc. Is very cool. The main plot revolves around this heist of hyperfuel that they gotta do, and they have to go through the Kessel Run in order to do it, but the Kessel Run can only be done in 20 parsecs, and Han Solo believes he can do it in 12 parsecs. And of course, as we all know, he's able to do it because he's bragged about this story so many times. This is the ship that did the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs. That part I really liked. I did like the way the Millennium Falcon looked. The interior of the ship looked great, and the exterior looked very good too, even though the shape of the ship doesn't look like the traditional shape yet. It does end up looking like the traditional Millennium Falcon later on in the movie. They do come up with a reason why it doesn't look like the Millennium Falcon we know and love until later on. But there were a lot of problems with this movie. There were a lot of things I didn't like about this. First off, there is the reason why Han Solo has his last name Solo. This is one of the stupid things. I'm going to have to go into some spoilers here. So, in the beginning of of the movie, Emilia Clarke and Alden Ehrenreich, Han Solo and Qi'ra, they get separated on their home planet Corilla as they're getting ready to leave it and go off on their venture. Han Solo gets up to this Imperial Guard, and the Imperial Guard is asking Han what is his name as he's getting ready to go into the flight academy to learn how to be a pilot and everything. And the Imperial Guard asks him his name. He says his name is Han, and when he asks him his last name, I was expecting him to say Solo because we know that's his name. But he says he doesn't have a last name and he's all alone. So that's why the Imperial Guard decides to call him Solo. Okay, Solo. It's like, that's why your last name is Solo. I understand the meaning behind the name Solo as being a loner, but you don't have to make it so blunt. That is so stupid. It made me groan so much, and I'm sure a lot of other Star Wars fans didn't like that either. Another thing I didn't like about this movie, and that's one of the big problems with this movie, is that there's too much telling and not enough showing. It's one of the first rules when you're making a movie. Show, not tell. It's a big rule when you're making a film. And they break that rule again when they introduce Lando. When they introduce Lando, they say that he's very charismatic. Why are you telling me that he's charismatic? This is Donald Glover. Donald Glover is a charismatic actor. You don't have to tell me he's a charismatic actor. Let Donald Glover show that he's a charismatic actor. I thought that was stupid that they actually told us that Lando's charismatic. Really? Another thing is Lando has this droid named L3, this thing that was floating around on the internet that Lando's pansexual. And when I heard about that, I thought that that was something that some troll put out there to purposely divide the fans. I didn't think that was actually going to be a thing that was going to come up within the movie. But then when I find out what was meant by the word pansexual, I find out Lando has a droid love interest. What? Lando's the suave ladies man. He's not supposed to have a droid love interest. That's stupid. Who thought this would be a great idea? Who are you trying to appeal in the Star Wars audience? Nobody's gonna like this idea. This is stupid. But this is the idea that Ron Howard came up with, I guess, or somebody came up with. Maybe one of the writers did or something. I thought this was stupid. Another problem with this movie is how predictable this movie is, because this is a prequel. So you know who's going to live, who's going to die. You pretty much know who's going to stay throughout the whole movie and who's not going to stay throughout the whole movie. So there really wasn't that much suspense in the movie, really. And the final problem is the villain, played by Paul Bettany. He is a weak villain. He's really not all that intimidating, really. And that's kind of a shame because Paul Bettany is a great actor. He's awesome as the Vision in the Marvel Cinematic movies. Both Age of Ultron and Infinity War, he was great as the Vision in those two movies. So the idea of him being a villain in this movie should be cool, but it really wasn't all that great in the film. So overall, this movie wasn't really all that good, and I'm a bit disappointed by this film. It didn't have enough of the Star Wars magic, really, because it's very predictable, and the pacing is a bit slow. There were some pacing problems within this movie, too. So I'm going to give this movie a C. It's pretty much just a rental. And from my point of view, a C for a Star Wars movie is a very bad grade. That is a big disappointment for me. Star Wars should not get a C. That is not a good grade for a Star Wars movie. So overall, I think if you're going to go to the theater, I say go see Deadpool 2 or Avengers Infinity War again. Just skip on Solo. And that's all I gotta say about this movie. Or you can go see Disobedience. That movie is very good.